Hello. Welcome to another amazing episode of Purpose, Power, Pleasure with me, Taneshia.
And I'm Malia.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Today, we are diving into an amazing conversation that's really close to my heart, which is body positivity, representation, and media. So I am so excited to have this conversation today and really have you guys dive in, ask the questions, and just like be a part of the conversation. So we will definitely dive into that after we have our little touch base. Malia, how
Girl,
was
I
your
feel like I
week?
haven't seen you because we didn't record last week. And,
I know.
this has been such a great way for us to check in every,
Yes. You're
every
my
week. Because
accountability partner.
as
Absolutely.
folks know, you can have, your dear friends that you wish you could see, and 6 months will go by
Oh, absolutely. It just goes by so fast. Like I
so
literally tell
fast.
everybody like
So,
happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New
exactly.
Year.
I'm
Like
in
it's just gone
Hawaii
by
and
that
I'll see
fast.
you in March. Like,
Yeah,
that's
literally.
basically
Yeah.
like
Yep.
how we end. But I am doing good. I got a bit of a cold. And my mom was here, which was
I
awesome. And we
know.
hung out and
Wow.
we had a great time. And then she ended up going back with my stepdad and they got COVID when they landed back in Hawaii. So
I
like
cannot believe that.
positive vibes to mom.
Yes.
But I had, it was just, it's always wonderful. I'm blessed to have a really good relationship with my mother, with both
Yeah.
my parents, really, and so it's really great to spend time with them. And, it's just a total blessing. And I always feel, I get that mama love and I feel like I'm hella special.
Yes. Love
You
that. Oh
know?
my goodness. I love
I'm like,
that.
my mom thinks I'm the best.
Right.
Like,
Oh my God. I love that so much. I'm so
so,
glad that she was here with
um,
you.
but the other update that happened, as you know, because I texted you, is I
Yes.
passed my test and I'm a certified sex therapist now.
Whoop, 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 whoop. So tell everybody what that means.
So what it means is I took a training. It was about 50 hours, 10 modules,
Mm,
and you learn about the different, like about what sex therapy is, and then
hmm
how to apply that to people. So you learn things like, what cognitive behavioral therapy does. Now, listen,
mm.
as someone who goes to therapy, like
Yeah.
I do not have the talents of my therapist, right? Like
Right.
but what it really helped with was me understanding the things that we already talk about,
Right.
how that fits into sex therapy. Because, for so much of my life has been around how do we see impact, right? How do we
hmm
see change? How do we
Right.
see things like that? And it's the same thing in sex therapy. So learning about like, different theories. And I'm actually writing a capstone because, I can be a nerd sometimes.
Mm. Okay.
Um, and
Yes.
I like, there was a few theories that like really hit me.
Yeah.
This idea of what sits in your body. I know you and I have talked about
Mm-hmm.
this before, but
Yeah.
so much about physical pleasure. And like we talked a little bit about this on our last show, like
Yep.
it's like body trauma, right? How you feel about your body, what we're going to be talking about today. Like,
Yes.
but the other thing that really hit me in this, and this is not a critique of the class because I think like this is our narrative, but it was great with the intersectionality, right? So
hmm
it was great, like there were case studies of, Chinese lesbian women, who blah,
Mm.
blah, blah, right? Like,
hmm
but everything was about being in a monogamous relationship. And so I thought like that's an interesting place for us to talk about like
Yeah.
people who aren't in monogamous relationships or maybe don't even want to be in monogamous relationships.
Right.
Like
What
how
that
do
looks
you
like.
also have healthy sex? Right?
Exactly.
Like
Right.
so I was like that might be an interesting, angle for us to think about at Sunflower. But
Yeah.
I hadn't been in class in years. And so getting ready for the test was like, Jesus Christ. But
Oh my God. With
oh, I'm
anxiety,
very
all
proud of
the anxiety.
myself.
Was it in person or like virtual?
Online.
Okay, nice.
And I had to
Amazing,
print because
Malia.
you know I'm old school, so I had to print. I have it somewhere around my desk. I had to print all the modules because I was trying to read it on the
Yeah.
computer, and
Oh
I
my
couldn't read it.
God.
So like I had to go old school so I could take notes and highlight and
Oh my God. Well, we are
all of
excited
that.
for you and excited to hear more about it and to do that practice with you because that's like so amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am.
Thank
I'm so proud of you.
you.
I
How
also
are
had
you?
good, busy. You know my life. I'm always so busy. I always feel like an octopus. Like I'm just like literally just juggling so many things at once. The business, the kids, husband, it's just there's just always a lot happening. And so actually we had a girls' night, just me and my girls, my daughters. And we had like a girls' night. And so we thought that we were just gonna like go out to eat or like go get our nails done or something. And Joel, my husband, he surprised us, Malia, with Hamilton tickets. The Broadway show at the Opera House in Boston. When I tell you, because my girls are literally obsessed with Hamilton, like anybody that knows us knows them, like literally that's all they listen to every day. They wake up to Hamilton, they go to sleep to Hamilton. We're in the car on a road trip, they're listening to Hamilton. Like they are obsessed with Hamilton play. So it was so amazing. I haven't even posted about it because like I've just been so busy. I'm horrible with posting, but it was like it literally like dream. Like it was a dream. It was literally a dream. Like they
Shout
cried.
out to
It was incredible.
Joel.
I know. Shout out to Joel. I was like, what? They literally cried. They were like, Mommy, oh my God. So we had an amazing night at Hamilton. I think that was on Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night, I want to say. Yeah. And then we went to over the weekend, we went to this really beautiful farm. It was like near New Hampshire. It was like right on the like New Hampshire border, called Parley Farms. And they had hay rides and apple picking, and we did like
Yeah,
all the
that
things,
is
pumpkin picking.
awesome.
It was so nice, and it was a
You know, I have
beautiful
never been
weekend.
apple picking.
Malia, what? Oh my God. Okay, we gotta go apple picking. Are you serious? I love apple picking. Oh,
I
Malia,
know
we gotta
next year, let's
go.
plan it. I've
Yes, let's
been maple
plan it.
tapping,
Oh, I've
mapling,
never
maple.
done that.
But yeah, and
I've heard of
you
it
know, I
though.
always say like I feel like there's things that if you don't have kids,
Mm-hmm.
like, and so, you know, you can try like there'll be times where, you know, I'll be like, no, Sarah, invite. So she's like, okay, we're going to the petting zoo. Do you want to go? I'm like,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and they had a petting zoo there
You
too.
know, because
Yeah.
like, and you can't go by yourself to a petting zoo as a
Right,
grown
right,
person.
right. You
You're
need
gonna
some,
look weird.
yes. Yes.
So, like, you know, but yeah, like apple
We're gonna go.
picking, you know, and maybe
It's so
because
fun.
too, like, I get cold so quick, you know, like, I
Yeah,
just
that
never
was
really
so
think about
nice.
going. But
Oh
like
my God. It
this
was
weekend
the weather
would have
was
been a
perfect.
great, I'm so glad you guys
Perfect.
went.
Oh my God, it
Yes.
was perfect. But a little downer part of so a little thing about me that people may not know is that I'm terrified of bees. When I say terrified, if I see a bee, I'm like running for it. Like I don't care who's in front of me. I don't care if it was Barack Obama. I don't care who I'm in front of, Michael Jackson. I'm running for it. And so I passed on that fear to my children. And so they also have that fear. But this particular farm had, oh my God, there were swarms of bees. I'm like, what is happening? It was like an obscene amount of bees at this farm. And I was like, what is going on?
Well,
Why?
that's
Why
how
are they
they,
messing with us? And they're so aggressive now too.
well, because it's the
It's a whole
ends of
thing.
season. They know they're gonna be dying out. So
It
yeah.
was on another level. So we're walking through, picking the apples, cheering, just being cheery and joyful.
Right.
A bee stings my oldest daughter, Adriana, in the neck. So she starts screaming to the top of her lungs and like, and so I'm like on the other side and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my child. I know that scream.
You're like, wait, I
Everyone's
know
looking
that
like, what
scream.
happened? When I tell you it was a whole theatrical, it was a whole experience, but we had an amazing time. That was like toward the end of the trip and she got stung by a bee. And I was like, of course, like the worst thing that could happen to her. She got stung by a bee. She's fine. But
Well,
It
I
was
was
just
gonna say
like,
she didn't have a bad allergic reaction or
no, she
anything,
didn't,
did
thank
she?
God. But the way home, she was just so sad. I was like, okay, we'll go get ice cream. We went to Red Robin, and she ended up being
Oh
all
yeah,
right.
no, you need ice cream, and it stung your
Yes,
neck. Like
in
that
her
is
neck. I'm like,
even
out of all places.
more.
And she had on her hood. She put on her hood on
No,
purpose
but that's what
because there
happened
were
and
so many
went
bees.
in.
Yes. I was like, out of
Listen,
all things that could happen, why? Why?
and it
But it was
just
great.
reinforces the
We
fear.
had a
And then
really, really good
you
time.
gotta like mom up, and you can't
Yes.
run away from the bees because it attacked your
I
child. So
know. Well,
you
they
have
run with
to
me usually, so I don't, I'm like, girls, come on, let's go. It's really
right. You're
bad
like,
though.
run
Really
away, run
bad.
away.
Terrified of bees. Terrified. I literally can be around a snake. I could be good around a snake more than a bee. Like that's how bad it is. Like,
So, I understand that though, because like, I mean, I'm not like, I don't like them around.
yeah,
One
I can't stand it.
stung me on the butt, and like I was wearing these like big palazzo pant, like beach pants in the
What?
vineyard. And what's so funny is Wanelia is petrified. So rather than
Oh,
helping me, like I'm trying to get my pants off, like there's a
yeah,
bee
yeah.
stinging my butt. And Wanelia just ran away.
What? No, I see. I would have hit it off you. I definitely would have hit it
No, it
off
was
you.
under
Like,
my pants, and
oh, it was under. Oh, I thought it was on
yeah,
top.
no, I needed
Oh,
help, girl. And no, and she admitted it. She was like, I bitched out on you. I was like, you fucking did, girl.
oh
I
my
was
God.
I was like,
Oh
get
my
my
God.
fucking coffee because I was holding coffee. So she comes back, she gets my coffee so I can get my
That
pants.
is hilarious. I've been stung so many times. My sisters and I, when we were younger, we stepped on a hornet's nest. And so we were surrounded by like thousands of hornets and like bees. And so ever
Well,
since
that
then,
can
I've
be
had a
very
phobia.
dangerous because that's too much poison. Like
Oh
one
yeah,
isn't that
it was
bad.
crazy. It was terrifying. And ever since that happened, I've been like, I've had this like, it's been PTSD. I've had this phobia, but I've been stung so many times and I'm still not okay. Like I'm not fine with it. If you stand still, people say, oh, if you stand still, they won't bother you.
No,
That's
no,
not
no. I
true.
just go away.
They
Like
target you. They
it's
target you.
your
It's not true.
earth.
Yes.
Like I'm not like it's just like, when I'm in water, like people think like because I'm from Hawaii, I'm some like brave. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
no, I'm from Hawaii. I know what the fuck's in there. Like, I'm
Right.
not going past the reef. Are you kidding me? Past
Right,
the reef
right.
are big fish. Like,
Can't.
why would I ever go past the reef?
Oh my
Like,
God.
and when like and I all and yes, like local people go out deep sea fishing and they do
They
that kind of
do. They
stuff.
do. Yep.
Like I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say for me,
Yep.
I believe that we are not as strong. Once we get into the animal kingdom,
Oh yeah, that's
we
theirs.
are not
We're
as
stepping into their
strong.
territory. Yeah,
We
like
are in
no.
their territory.
We would always I've tried that standing still, you know, standing like a mannequin and like that doesn't work. I'm sorry,
Listen,
people. It doesn't work.
but I'm so glad she got ice cream.
Yeah, she
I'm
did. She's
so
much
glad you
better.
guys got
She was terrified,
apples.
but oh
You
yeah, we
know,
did it all. Apple crisp, the apple
I
cider
was gonna
donuts. I
say
can go
if
on and on.
anything like that comes
I can
out
go.
of this visit,
Yeah,
maybe
it was
let's do
amazing.
Happy Feet next weekend and you can
Yeah,
bring me some
yes.
apple crumble.
Yeah. Yes, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Oh my God. And I'm so sorry, guys. We got like way off topic because we're
I
supposed
know,
to be
I'm
talking
sorry.
about the
So
body.
that's our check-in. Now, okay, so we have a great question of the week,
Yes.
which is actually this Vogue trend, or someone was talking about it at Vogue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, again, it's another question. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to find some questions for single women, but
Yeah.
um Emma Spector, a journalist in Vogue, asked the question, have you been trapped into man keeping your boyfriend and husband? That's a new
Mm.
term for the widespread phenomenon of women assuming full responsibility for a couple's social life and serving as their emotional, basically like as their emotional support
Right. Their
partner.
emotional support. Right.
And so this was coined by, let's give a sister her flowers, Angela Puzio Ferrara, Italian.
Okay.
Um, Man keeping describes the hard work a woman does to keep her partner to keep her less than motivated male partner from
Mm.
succumbing to the male loneliness epidemic. So audience,
Yeah.
send in your questions too. So
Yes,
I
please
will
do.
say this. I have been trapped into man keeping.
Okay.
In my last relationship, he had no friends except for like the two friends that like that's how we met.
Mm.
He didn't really have friends. So he was either like hanging out with me and my friends
Hmm.
or like staying at home, which he didn't mind doing. He didn't mind doing
Hmm.
a lot. Like this, like less than motivated,
Yeah, yeah.
this succumbing to
Huh.
male, the loneliness epidemic, that was very much him. And I think it did affect our relationship because I was very much the opposite. And there were
Social
times where it was
butterfly.
like, I didn't
Hmm.
want necessarily him to be with, you know what I mean? Like it would be nice if you had something to do out
Hmm.
of the house
Hmm.
on a Sunday. So like
Right,
I
right.
could be in the house by myself on a Sunday. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, there were many reasons why this relationship didn't work,
Hmm.
but I think that that was definitely one of them. Like I have trouble assuming responsibility for other people, and I think that's like that's not a good thing when you're in a relationship, especially with a man, because
Right,
you do have to assume some responsibility for their life.
right, right.
So the last thing I'll say is I see this in a lot of my girlfriends' marriages,
I've
not
seen
all,
this. Yes, yes. I've seen this.
but like
Yes,
in other marriages or,
yes.
relationships, I have seen where it's like one person, and it is a lot of times the man
Hmm.
ends up sort of being like consumed by the wife's social life and not really
Mm-hmm.
having their own, you know? So,
Right.
what do
So
you think?
yeah, I'll say for us,
Have you
like,
ever been, oh, well, you guys have started dating so young
yeah, we were so
that you probably
young.
went through these, like maybe he was in the male loneliness epidemic, then got out of the male loneliness.
Yeah, it's like, so Joel, he's like not, he's like a no new friends type person. Like he doesn't really have an interest of making like new friends per se. Like he has his core best friends, like there's like six of them, and so like, and they're
But
all
that's
like married
not.
with kids, and so that's a good like amount of people. And I feel like whenever they do something, like it's always a family thing. Like they're always like, oh, we're having a family cookout, come over, and like we're all hanging out together. So it's never really, when we were younger though, absolutely, like it was like, oh, like let's go out here, let's go to the bar, or let's go hang out here with his best friends. But it was always the same group of guys. And so for me, it was like, oh
Right.
yeah,
And
go hang
then
out.
you all, like everyone ended up getting married and then it became
Yeah.
barbecues.
Yes. And we all grew up together too. So now it's kind of like we have our social of like his friends. I would say I am definitely a lot more social. Like he's like a no new friends type person. Like I have my core crew. I don't need anybody else. For me, I'm always finding new friends. Like I'm
That's
always
it.
finding new people that like want to hang out, want to go get dinner, and I'm way more social than he is. Like he's good with literally like his crew, his friends, being home with us and like doing family trips, like that's his thing. And so yeah, I feel like we've been through so many different phases because we've been together for so long that, there's definitely no man keeping. Like even sometimes too, I'll be like, oh, you and the guys should go watch the game like at a bar or something. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's like for us, like
Right.
I don't care about what that looks like. One thing that we don't do though is we don't do the strip club thing. Like I have a lot of friends that like let their husbands go to the strip club, and then like they'll do things, and I'm like, nah, that's not, we're not doing that. We're not doing the strip
Now,
club
have
thing
you
and
guys
eating
ever
chicken
done
wings.
strip clubs
We're not doing that.
together?
We have once, and when I lived in Atlanta, because that's like strip
Well,
club
I mean, you
capital.
got to go to a
So
strip
it
club
was
in
like,
Atlanta.
yeah, but it wasn't my thing, and it wasn't his thing either. Like we were both like, "Are you ready to go? I'm ready to go." Like it wasn't. It was we
But
did
it
like the
wasn't
food was better
something that
than the
did anything
atmosphere.
for either of you. Right.
No, so it just wasn't our scene. But it's some people's scene, and that's what they like to do. But for us, it was like this is not like
Well, right.
we
And
didn't
I
enjoy
think
it.
if, again, if your partner agrees, right? Like that, like
Right,
it's about the
exactly.
agreement.
Right.
And I think there's something to be said about, well, why are you and your boys always like needing to go to strip clubs? Like,
Exactly.
and
Well, that's
I
what I
find
feel.
like what I find with a lot of my friends' husbands, like, is like you said, when there was younger or there was a
Mhm.
bachelorette party, but a lot of them, they aren't those dudes. Like,
Right.
like, I mean, they, when they were younger, they were closer to
Mm-hmm.
those dudes. But the dudes that I know, like a lot of them weren't horribly like you could get
Right.
drunk around them and you would get home.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and you'd be
Exactly.
put to bed with your
Responsible.
shoes
Yes.
on,
Yep.
like proof
Absolutely.
that nothing happened, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you were just brought home, right? Like,
Yes.
so, like, I mean, I think I like strip clubs, and I think I probably, out of my friend crew, men and women,
Mm-hmm.
I probably have been to more strip clubs than a lot of my
Okay.
guy friends, not all,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so I think there's definitely, again, it's fun. But what I find, and I don't know how healthy this is, but this dynamic of video games, and now that everyone can play, so they're like, I still
Oh
consider
yeah.
it hanging out. Like if you're playing video games with your boys, but you're each in your house, like it's still a
Mm-hmm.
hangout.
Yeah.
But are you actually talking? Like, because I feel like
Oh my God. Yes.
girls,
I can.
like,
What?
the reason why we have
Malia.
girlfriends.
Oh yeah. Oh please. The video game. Oh my God. Literally, Joel is probably laughing right now because Joel, first of all, he's a gamer. He's a nerd in that way. And he has his own gaming company. So, like,
Well, I was going to
literally,
say that's his business, isn't
yeah, that's
it?
literally his business. So he games for fun and it's his business. But on the game, oh my God, he has guys that he's talked to and who he's played with on the game that are like his crew of like other friends that he's played with for like over 12 years. And they're on group chats together. They're
Right. And
on the
they've
game
never
talking
really
to each
met.
other.
It's just all on video games. See,
What?
that's
All on
beautiful.
video game. Like they have conversation. When I tell you they have conversations about everything under the sun while they're playing video games. And he loves it. And they all like love being around each other. Like we went to the Poconos earlier, well, during the summertime. And one of his friends like owns a house on the Poconos. So we met up with them. And like literally he has a very tight circle on his video game and like who he plays with. Oh yeah, that's like, oh my God, I could talk about that all day long. They talk about everything. Oh yeah, there's definitely a
Right. So
culture there,
that's something you can
community.
do. But I do think it's important.
Yeah,
And I think it's women in men's lives, because like I've
yeah,
also definitely man keeped for like my friends, where I was like, okay, like they're succumbing, like, they haven't, like one of my friends, we've been friends since college, and
mm-hmm,
he has a lot of reasons to like go through like different bouts of depression, as we all do. And
mm-hmm.
I think, for women, it's a lot easier, like I'll be like, girl, I've just been down these last couple days.
Right.
Right? You
Yes.
might
You
be
talk
like, let's
about
go
it.
to
You talk
Happy
about
Feet.
it.
What's going
Mm-hmm.
on? Let's talk about it.
Yes.
And I think for men, it's just harder to talk about, they're not given the words,
Yeah.
hopefully that's changing,
Yeah.
but I've definitely like been the one with, like my friend of being like, you're fucking meeting me, dude. Like
Right.
we're not doing that. You like, you're not too busy. Like, I'm like, no, or you're coming to Mike and Sarah's. We're playing with like, these are your nieces too. Like,
Right.
you're
Yes.
coming. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, like when they do, they have fun. It like sort of kickstarts it again. But we can
Yes.
all fall into that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
for men, they don't have the other infrastructures that
Yep.
women naturally build. Like I love how like men like to think of themselves as lions. And like I
Right.
always crack up because I'm like, the power of the lion is the
Right.
pride, is the
Mm-hmm.
women. And like the man just wanders lonely the perimeter, comes
Yes.
back. The women have sex sometimes so much that like they're like attacking the men, like, we need sperm
Mm-hmm.
now, we need sperm now.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, go walk the perimeter again, dude. We're raising these
Oh
babies.
my God. Yeah. There's so many dynamics. Like,
So there's this like
oh my God.
loneliness male narrative and archetype
Mm-hmm.
that, I think, and Joelle, I think, is a great example. And I think
Yeah.
also having rules about how you hang out are also important,
Yeah, absolutely. Which we established
because
that like
I think that's
years
why a
ago.
lot of women
Yeah.
kind of don't mind their men being in the loneliness epidemic, because they're like, well, they're home.
Right. They're like, he's better on the couch than he is outside. They'd rather him be inside. Yeah. Yeah.
But if that's the case,
Mm-hmm.
like, and, I feel like we should bring on like maybe Nashira knows someone, but we should bring on a good therapist because I like my therapist is awesome, and
Mm-hmm.
I could ask if she would do it. But there's I know now that there's therapist rules, so y'all can't be kiki and like
Right.
I could
Yes.
never be your
Yeah.
therapist,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like because we're
Yeah.
friends, and so that violates rules, right? Like,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
because we're friends, we have the friend therapy thing going, right? Like, so like there's these rules, like, and so I don't know if my therapist could do it,
Yeah.
but I would love to have a conversation
Yeah.
about like feeling secure in relationships. And, I
Right.
learned about these different sexual attachment styles, like,
Oh yeah. There's trauma
and
attachments. There's all types of attach. Oh
exactly,
yes.
avoidant, insecure attachment,
Yes. Oh
like,
yeah.
and then they all play out differently. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, I done like when I was younger, I was much more insecure attachment. But
Mm-hmm.
as I'm getting older, I'm like, wait, am I moving into avoidant? Like, is the reason why I'm saying
Mm.
no one is on Hinge is because like I'm looking for every little thing, like I'm
Right.
not really giving
Right.
it time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And everything
You know,
apart. Yeah.
so we have to
Absolutely.
get into that conversation.
We really
But
do. That's like a whole. That would be a great episode. Yeah. We
that
definitely
would
need
be
to
a
do
great
that.
episode. We'll
Yeah.
definitely
I'm
put that
making
on
note
the
of that right
list.
now.
But now we are jumping into our deep dive, which
Yes.
kind of goes to the insecure, like being feeling secure. And body image is definitely something that does it. And
Mm-hmm.
Tanisha, I feel like this is something with fashion, like, and that's
Mm.
something I so appreciate whenever I go to your shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are people with different bodies, there are women with
Yes.
different bodies, everyone is beautiful. And like, I'll
Yes.
even say, like, because you had me do your show
I
once,
sure did.
and I was not feeling like, remember we talked about, I was like, girl, I am not a model,
You look
like I
so
don't know how
gorgeous.
to
Oh
do
my
this
God.
stuff, and I don't have, like, I'm not gonna know what to do. And you hyped me up and you were like, girl, just go
Yes.
out there and be yourself. And I
Amazing. You look
had
so gorgeous.
so much, I felt so beautiful, you know
Yes,
what I
because you
mean? Like,
are. You like, and
I
you.
walked out, I
Oh
was like,
my
"Oh my
God.
god, I'm a model." Like, and there were these young, beautiful things with me. There were other beautiful people, and and
Yes.
I felt like, "Oh yes, we're all on stage and we're all bringing our own beauty." And so
Yes.
that's why I'm so happy that we're talking about this conversation.
Yes, because the standard, especially in media and music and entertainment, entertainment, it's like, it's always this feeling of like being perfect and like what that looks like. And as a former entertainer, singer, actress, songwriter, like all the things, I know firsthand how it feels to always have to look fabulous and be, dolled up and, always have to look good. And it's like the expectation wasn't just about talent, it was about appearance, size, and presentation. And so it's like all of those things you're constantly thinking about. And like, obviously I've never had an eating disorder. Like I get
No,
all my
but thank
meals in.
goodness, because
But
I'm sure
right,
there
thank
were
God. Oh,
times.
there's so much of that. Oh my God, there's so much of that in the industry, dancers, actress, like there's so much of that. And I think that, because there's always a constant pressure. There's always a constant pressure. And like, my sisters and I, we had the pressure, but we never like went to the,
And
left
when
side
you
all
say
the way
the
left.
pressure, like obviously, like there's the basic, like the pressure that we all have, right? So
Mm-hmm.
having not been in the entertainment industry, I still
Yes.
had the cover of magazines letting me know what
Mm-hmm.
I should look like. But you
Yep.
are actually trying to compete. So people are,
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's mean as hell, but like tell me a couple
What?
stories of like,
Oh my God, Malia. Literally, your image is always overshadowed by the artistry. So like I remember my sisters and I, we did like this whole tour in New York with look like performing for the top execs. Like we literally performed for Mariah Carey's husband at the time, Tommy Mottola. My sisters and I performed for
also
him.
boo to him. I
It's
hope
right,
you
right.
left safe.
Yeah, no, when I tell you,
Amazing girl.
it was incredible. It was we were so nervous. Oh my God, we were so nervous.
Of course you
But
are.
I remember that morning, like literally, like us just being so. like just stressed out about our looks and like, oh my God, our hair has to be in place. Oh my God, our makeup. And like, what are we wearing? We changed outfits like 4 times and like having the conversation and then even being there and having these record execs look at you up and down, sizing you up. I'm telling you, when I say look at you up and down, they're looking at your nails, they're looking at your breasts, they're
And
looking
how
at your
old are
butt,
you
they're
at this
looking at your
point?
feet. I want to say 19, 18, 19.
Okay, so at least you're adult, but you're still
Oh
too
yeah, yeah.
young and you're being objectified every inch of your body. Like
Every
they're looking
inch.
at your boobs, they're looking at your
Every
ass.
inch. And then even too, even within the sisterhood of like my sisters and I us singing, we would always have producers like, oh, she's prettier than you. So you should be singing up front. And you, oh yeah, like it's literally, it's
Right?
not,
Like
it's
this Beyonce, Solange,
oh,
Destiny's
absolutely.
Child.
Oh, absolutely. There was always that constant like
And like they would
comparison.
say that to you and your sister standing
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
Oh, like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. So my mother would have to step in. Our mom was our manager, so she would step in and obviously get it straight. But like it was constant. Like we were constantly being put on, you know, the spotlight and having to be examined in every single way. The way you speak, the way you sing, the way you look. You know, you can't be, too big, can't be too small, can't be too sexy, not sexy enough. Like there's just so many things. And I feel like social media amplifies this as well. It amplifies the pressure, especially
Right. And right, because
nowadays.
we didn't have that.
No.
Like we still had a lot of things because we had television, we had
Yep.
magazines,
Yep.
but we didn't have, and we also, there was only so much Photoshop, but also they were
Exactly.
grabbing these twiggy of a thing.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
how did you, like, did your mom give you like affirmation? You know, like how, because I
No.
feel like you are a vet, like you, I mean, obviously you care about what you look like. I care
Yeah.
about what I look like.
Yeah.
Fashion and stuff for you is just something that you do naturally. It's what you
Yes.
do. So like, but you also seem like, you know, you didn't get an eating disorder. Like you
No.
seem, you know, you seem like a very
Very
well
level headed.
balanced
Yeah.
person, as does your sister.
Yes.
So,
My
like,
sister,
what
all
did
of
your
us.
mom do to help you guys not have all that?
She always empowered us. I feel like that was the main thing. She never sat us down and was like, you're not that, you're not this, you're not that, because we already knew that we weren't. But I really think that she really gave us the tools to think differently and to think beyond what people, the perception and what people were saying. So we would literally, she would have conversations with us for hours and hours, like daily, about perception, about empowerment, about being a woman in the business, about knowing, and being your authentic self, about knowing about the business of the industry and just all the things. And so, and she would always biggest, you guys are beautiful. You're the most beautiful things. You can sing, all this stuff. So it was like we already knew that, but it was like I feel like the conversations that she had with us just confirmed all the things that we already felt, and it was a
That's
constant
right.
thing that she would make sure like that we constantly know like we're powerful, like we have, we can walk away from anything. Like we don't have to go with this deal. We can walk away from this. Like it's no big deal. And so I
It's
feel
like
like
the
she gave
right
us that
kind of
confidence.
momager. Like
Oh,
your
absolutely.
mom was like the right, like what you want to see from
Yes,
parents,
she
not this
never
crazy.
pressured us to lose weight, to do this, do that. Like, yes, our appearance had to be good, our outfits had to be nice, obviously, but like, it was never a thing like, oh, Tanisha, you know what? You need to lose 5 pounds. Like, no, there was never any
Right,
conversations
right,
like that.
right,
Like,
right. Well, and there
never,
was the
never.
understanding of the world you were entering and that you
Yeah.
were
Oh, and she would
competing
have
in,
very real,
and your
and this is
mom
the
didn't
thing
want to
too.
set you up for failure.
Yeah, but this is the thing too. We would see it firsthand. So it wasn't like, oh, we're going in. She wouldn't like have to sit us down and say, we're going into this meeting. You might hear some things that, you don't like, or like we were going into the meetings and people would say this to us with straight faces and did not care. And that's how the industry is. Like they're very, very cutthroat. It's very,
Well, I
not beating
think
around the
it's
bush. It's just
I
straight to the
I
point.
think it's sadistic. Like, I think they, because they don't have to do it that way,
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
when
No.
you see the power dynamics and when you hear about the Harvey Weinsteins, when you
Mm,
hear about the
mm,
Diddy's, right, you
mm.
realize that that's also part of the game, like, because if I
Yeah.
break you down and if I treat you like shit, you'll
Yeah.
give me a
Then you'll give
blowjob
me, yeah,
for a
yeah,
role.
yeah, yep. Yes, your
And your mom
confidence.
was like, "Absolutely not. Like, my daughters will never feel the need to
People
do
knew.
anything."
Oh, people knew in the industry. No, she could. No one could get past my mother. Like literally, she was very powerful in that way, and like people just knew it. And it's just crazy to me because I feel like there's such a double standard, and men can be authentic. Men can be authentic, but women were expected to be perfect all the time. And so it's like, a man can go out there. There can be even a performer that's a guy. He could be fat. He can have, a beard that's growing out. That's, he could have a fade that's not touched up. And
That's
people will
right.
still buy his album and still root him on. But let a woman go out there and do that or
That
look like that. It's just
and just
crazy to
right.
me.
Right. And it
It's
trickles
crazy.
down to the everyday, and
Yes.
I think about like just, like I saw this picture and it was John Legend and his wife.
Chrissy
What's her
Teigen.
name? I fucking love her.
Chrissy Teigen. I love her. Yeah.
Yes, Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
She's so amazing. So they're like, it's a paparazzi shot. They're in New York, and he is in like a sweater, like sweatshirt type dealy, some
Mm-hmm.
sweatpants and some sneakers. It's fall. It's
Right.
chilly.
Mm-hmm.
She is in a mini skirt, a little bra top, and some strappy shoes.
Oh, wow.
And I
Okay.
thought to myself, and I'm sure, like Chrissy tells us, because I'm sure, like you had to dress. You know what I mean? You were coming from
Mm-hmm.
a thing that was dressing you that way.
Right. Right.
Like
She might have been
'cause
coming
her
from like,
personality is like she would have rocked the sneakers and the right. Like so, for
yes.
whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe she had agency at that moment.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, and, I remember seeing this and I was like, this is a perfect example
Mm-hmm.
of, like how
Yeah.
men and women can show. And maybe at the time, it was her publicist being like, bitch, you can't walk. You're not that famous. You can't walk out in sweatshop.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, and
Yeah.
telling her stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And maybe she was young. And so she did believe it because
Yes.
confidence is something that you really have to try out and wear and have those
Yes.
have that growth, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I think it's, what I find, and I love what you're saying here. And so I just want to like pull this out, like for you and for me too,
Mm-hmm.
again, I wasn't on the path, but like
Right.
my mother didn't center body, like she wasn't
Right.
like, she was like, you are beautiful and
Yes.
everyone is beautiful and get
Yep.
off beauty. And like, I wasn't allowed to watch pageants. As a matter of fact, I entered
Really?
a pageant. Yeah, because my mom was like, you shouldn't get scholarships because you're pretty. Like, that's not like,
Mm-hmm.
because don't forget, this was back when there was the bathing suit and,
Oh, I know.
it
Yeah.
was,
My
it was
sister was a part of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right,
Pageants and stuff.
I could see, yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say, because and
I did
I'm
Miss
saying
Teen
this with
USA
love,
too,
like, you
though.
guys are so well coiffed that, like, I
Thank
feel
you.
like that's training that just, like, pageant, like
Mm-hmm.
but so, yeah, so
Yeah.
my dad snuck me in, he signed the thing,
What?
then and I was too young, I was 12, and it was Hal
Oh
Jackson's Talented
my
Teens, it was, like, this black pageant that also happened in Hawaii. This is when my
God.
dad was dating
Wow.
this black woman, Sharon Thomas. God love her. I think I mentioned her before. But anyway, so Sharon like gets me entered. My dad signs off, even though I'm not 13. Then in the pageant, they end up finding out I'm not 13. So like I get like runners
Oh,
up. I become devastated. My mother was so pissed because like I
oh
told my mother after I
my
was
God.
already signed up.
Oh my God,
And oh
Malia.
yeah, and
Wow.
Sharon got me a gown done. She got my head. It was like yeah, like it
Oh my
was so.
God.
But I was devastated because I should have won, but they found out anyway. So I got first runner up, and like my mom was like, "You
That's
were lucky they didn't
amazing.
just throw." Yeah, my mom was so mad that my
I
dad.
know she was mad because she didn't want you to be a part of it anyway.
Anyway, and then for it to be shenanigans,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Like
She's like, this is what I'm talking about. It
but,
just, yeah.
but what I love about it is because my dad and I will talk about it, and, like, because it's a brilliant memory for my dad and I, like, we
Yeah.
had so much fun, and my dad's like, "They still should have given it to you because you would have been 13 by the end." We
That
still.
is hilarious.
Yep,
Wow. Oh yeah,
yep.
no, my mother threw us in everything. Any talent show, any competition, anything. She's like, no, you're doing it. Like, you're doing
Yeah,
it.
see, I did dance and
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I
we did
love
dance
dance.
too.
And so I did
Mm-hmm.
all the dance, but even that, like, yeah, because my mother was a feminist, like this thing about body image, like it
Mm,
really, she wasn't reinforced. You know what I mean? I think your
right.
mom wasn't either. Like, even though your
Right.
mom was getting you involved in these things,
Yeah. I think it
like,
was, yeah. My mom was like, get out there, build the confidence. You're good. People need to see you. Like,
exactly. And like,
that's
so
literally what
whichever
it
road
was.
you
Like,
choose for your
yes.
children, like
Yep.
you have to give them the love at home. You have to like,
Yes.
you
It
can't
starts at
tell
home.
them like, oh, you have to go on a diet. Like you
Right.
can't tell them those things.
Nope.
Like the only time my mother ever helped me around a diet was I gained 35 pounds my freshman year of college at Emerson. And
Oh,
I got
really?
back to Hawaii and my friends in Hawaii were like, "Oh, Boston made you fat and white."
That is what they said that to you?
Girl, because I didn't realize how light I could get. Because I was born and raised in Hawaii. So,
Right.
like I just thought I was the color I was. I had been running around naked. So, like, even my base tan wasn't base because as a baby I was naked, right? Like, so my
Right.
base
Yes.
was tan. So,
Wow.
anyway, I didn't realize how light I could get. And I was absolutely devastated. And my friends were like, "Oh, Boston made you fat and white." And like, so I went to my mother and I was like, "Mommy, I'm like, da, da, da." And like, she saw it, like I was big. I mean, I was like right now I'm like a 4,
Mm-hmm.
leaning towards a 6, like
Mm-hmm.
if it's a cigarette pant, it will be a 6, right? Like that sort of thing. What do they call them nowadays? I'm calling them a
Straight leg, like straight leg pants. Yeah. Just
girl.
straight leg.
I just aged myself,
Skinny
didn't I?
leg. Yeah.
I'm thinking about like the old school. You know what I'm thinking about too?
I do.
Like
I
the
know
Dorothy
exactly what you're talking
Bandages,
about though.
like
Yes.
all those old school movies, because that's when I fell in love with it.
Oh my God.
God
Oh my
damn.
God. That's
Anyway,
yeah.
like I was a size 10, 12.
I can't
That
really.
and so I was unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like
But you can
my
always
blood
lose the
sugar
weight
was starting
though.
to go.
It's not, it's not the end of the world. You can always, and so this is the thing too. Like our family, we eat. Like we like literally since my sisters and I were young, like we ate like big plates of food. Like it was never like, oh, 4 chicken nuggets, two
That's
pieces
it,
of
girl. You
broccoli.
know,
And
right? We eat. You and I eat.
we eat like we've always like literally it was so funny. It was like a running joke because like whenever like we would go out to dinner or like my mom's friends would be with us, they would be like, oh my God, what is this bill gonna look like? Because you guys are ordering up the whole menu. It would just be that because we always love to eat. And like my family, we eat. We don't, so it was like it never was even a conversation like, oh, don't eat that much, or like that's what we do. Like that's we eat. That's what we do. But I think that it's like
Hmm.
really just not about ignoring change. It's really about honoring yourself through it. And I think that my mother really honored who we were, how beautiful we were, what we looked like in any stage. Like that was just never a topic of conversation. But I just feel like, there are companies out there now trying to do it better. Like the Victoria's Secret fashion show just passed. And I watched it, which I watched it
And I
early.
love they brought out a pregnant woman, girl.
I know. I was like,
I love
yes.
it.
She looked gorgeous. She
Go.
looked so gorgeous. And I was so proud of Victoria's Secret for being more inclusive. And they've been trying to do this for years now, like even their pink collection and things like that, like bringing on more diversity, more diverse models and, more models that are plus size and regular size women, 10, 12, whatever. Like I love the fact that they did that. And then also too, they included like influencers this year and had like different performers and things like that. And so it just felt so much more inclusive. And I absolutely loved the fact to see the pregnant woman on the runway. That was just amazing. She looked
Yes.
gorgeous. She looked so gorgeous. And I think,
Exactly. And I love
you
what
know,
Fenty is doing, especially with
oh,
like
Fenty, yeah.
people with,
Oh,
like
Rihanna is like
all
on
bodies.
it.
I mean, the fluidity that she puts into her
Rihanna is on it.
shows.
Yes. Oh,
Like
it's
it's,
gorgeous.
oh,
And it's just
yeah,
so important. That's why even when I do my events, like you have to have that representation. It matters. Like you have to
that's
have the
right.
representation. You can't be blind to the fact that there's just not people walking around. Everyone's not walking around size 4,
Right.
tall, 6'9". Like no.
And you can be size 4, as I found out, in an unhealthy person. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like, I
Yeah.
haven't really fluctuated much in my weight since my
Mm-hmm.
freshman 35, but I have gone from being a skinny fat person because I had no muscle mass, and
Mm-hmm.
don't ask me to walk up a hill, to where I am now, where I'm like doing boxing. I'm like, oh, look at my little shoulder muscles.
Right.
You know, like
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
Michelle yet, but I'm like, I'm gonna get there, sis. Let me keep doing
Exactly.
my push-ups. You know,
Yes.
so like it's about the health,
It
it's
really
about
is.
who you are, and
Yep.
you know, being beautiful at every size. And I think you also need to be around people who affirm that. And
Yeah.
I know like that's something I love about my girlfriends.
Yes.
Like if we're feeling insecure, like we are there being like, sis, but you look good. Or
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe it's not the pencil skirt today. You
Right.
know,
Exactly. Right.
like my girls
Maybe you're
after like
bloated
they
today and
had
the pencil skirt's
babies.
not going to work.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
like my girls, like after they had babies, like we went through loving the Tata with maxi dresses, and you know, like, and it wasn't, you know, and
Yeah.
like I was like, why are you even trying to put on pants, bitch? Like, why are
Right.
you
I
even
know. I
trying
know.
this?
You know what it is too? I feel like, especially after having a baby, you feel so like you don't feel like yourself at all. Like you have this new body, you feel like you're a machine. This baby is like on your breast constantly. You feel like just not yourself in so many ways. And so I remember all with all three of my children, I remember feeling like, oh my God, I do not feel sexy. I do not feel like I want to get dressed today. I do
No,
not
your
feel good.
vagina is a
I didn't feel
snake
good in my
mouth.
clothes. I just did not feel good.
Exactly.
I know. I literally just didn't feel good. So I had to get to the point where I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling better about myself and things like that. And it takes time. Like it takes time. It doesn't happen right away. And you know, as women, we have these insecurities. We have these little insecurities that we always find in ourselves. And I feel like men, they just celebrate every
They
part
don't
of
really think
themselves. They
about it
don't
that much.
have these
Well,
things.
because the patriarchy allows them that space, you know, and I
Yes.
want to say something else I've learned. Y'all are going to be here. Something I learned in sex therapy. Y'all
Yeah.
going to be hearing that for a little bit. But something I learned in sex therapy, right, too, is that we don't actually receive the compliments. And so,
I've
like,
been a victim of that. Yes.
and I think
I've
that's
been guilty.
something that,
Mhm.
you know, so like when you read these different case studies and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
you'll have the husband, you know, or the partner, right? Like being like, you know, her belly, like there was this one where the husband
Mm.
was like, yeah, you know, her belly has changed, like as has mine, but like we're living life, and her body is beautiful to me. And I just love, like, he's like, I bury my head in her belly, like, and I suck on
I
it.
love. Oh my God, that is
And
hilarious.
for her,
I
she's
love
like, but
that.
that's a trigger, like, because then she feels her flabbiest. And so, like, and it
Oh,
made
so
me
okay, so
so
it didn't make her feel
sad.
like, oh, he's okay with this. It made her feel like, oh, okay, he's
But it
burying his
made
head in
her feel
there,
like,
and
oh, he's sucking on my flab. Like, and so it triggered
okay,
for her
okay,
insecurity.
right, okay, yes, I see
And
that.
for
I get
him,
that.
like, it actually was like this mother body turned him on, right? Like, he was
Mm-hmm.
like, we both gained weight, baby. We just had a
Right,
kid. Like,
right, yes,
you know,
no, that's
you
how
gave
me
me
and
a
Joelle were. Like,
baby.
he was so turned on by my stomach, by the weight I gained, everything. Like he was like, you are every single day he would tell me how beautiful I was every single day. And I'd be like, thank you.
Right.
You're
And be
supposed to say that. You're my
grabbing
husband. He
on
was like,
it. Because,
no.
you know, men like to be grabbed. And
Yes,
like,
he
and
loved it.
so how did you start believing him? Like, where did you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to receive him telling me I'm beautiful? Because as
Yeah.
you were saying, there was a moment where he's saying this to you, but
Yep. And I was
you're
like,
not receiving it.
yeah, I think it's when I started to lose weight and to see my body like go back to looking normal again. Then I was like, okay, now we can work with something here. Now something's
Right.
happening
So
here.
it's when you started seeing that this wasn't going to be you forever.
Yes. Yes. Literally, that was the turning point for me.
Hmm.
And maybe it's different from other people, but for me, it was like, oh, okay, I can fit back into these jeans. Oh, okay, I can fit back into this top. I can wear that dress again. Then I started feeling better about myself. That's when it happened for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't
Right.
him, definitely it felt good that he, loved the way I looked and told me that I was beautiful. It felt good to hear that. But for me, internally, it was like seeing that weight loss and being able
Right,
to fit that
right.
dress
You
again. Yeah.
had to feel it in yourself. And,
Yes. It
that's
starts everything starts with
also
self.
right.
Everything.
And I want to say this about body image. I'm so happy that there are now different body images that we can
Yeah.
love and
Hmm.
different views of beauty and standards of beauty. And also we're getting honest about like
Oh yeah.
beauty versus, because I can also say like what attracts me sexually to a man now, like, yeah, it's visual a little bit, but it's a lot more about the attitude and the personality, which it always
Yes.
was there. It just
Yep.
also had to look like a D'Angelo. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? It had to
Oh,
look.
speaking of
Oh,
D'Angelo,
speaking of D'Angelo.
rest in peace.
And,
I was
let's
so
bring him
sad
up
to
too,
hear
because
that.
he was also someone who was mortified. He was really fucked up by body image issues
Yeah.
because he did that. And we all,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know. It
everyone
was
had
like,
started objectifying him. And he
yes.
would just be walking down the street and we'd be like, show us your dick. You know what
Right,
I
right.
mean?
She was
And
just
be yelling horrible things to him,
I
thinking that that was okay because he gave
right.
us this almost moment of
Right.
him being naked.
I know. No
And
one, we
then
will
he
never
gained
forget
weight
that.
and it
We
fucked
will
him up.
never forget that. We
Girl,
will never forget that.
when I am low, I will play that video to this day when I just need a little pick me
Little
up.
pick me up.
Just untitled, untitled.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
You know?
Well,
But well, listen, ladies, men, everybody, love yourself. And
yes, please.
for our purpose, power, pleasure journaling,
Yes.
I have an exercise for you guys around that. And so, what I'm going to ask you to do if you want to take part in our journaling is stand in front of a mirror naked and find two things that you like. And I want to tell you, because I am throwing out these journalings, I did try this yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, what if you like don't like anything that you
Well, this is okay. So let me tell you, right? Like I am perimenopausing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like my body does not do what she used to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so the first thing like that I did was I went to every part that I hated.
Okay.
So I went to my stomach and I was like, that's not a thing you're going to be picking.
Which you look amazing. So
No, but
I'm just
thank
gonna
you.
let
But
you finish, but I don't believe what you're saying
no,
because
but
I have
thank
seen your
you. I
body. It's
appreciate that. But
incredible.
I'm just saying what's happening for me.
Yes,
And I want to
exactly. Yep.
receive what you're saying. But the
Yeah.
stomach wasn't what she was not even 5 years ago, sis. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? This
Okay.
perimenopause stomach is coming.
Okay.
So I'm feeling that. Then the boobs ain't where she used to be. So
Okay.
then I
Yep.
lifted up my boobs like this, girl, and I brought my cleave back.
Okay.
And then I looked at like my fucking bags in my eyes, which I hate, but then I smiled and I held up my little boobies. And then I did, do you remember the Janet Jackson cover?
Oh yes. Oh my God. That's what you did, Malia.
I did. And I
Baby,
and
you
I
do this.
and then I gave myself like a little, I was like, bitch, you ain't that bad, bitch. You ain't that bad. And so I share that to say that like ladies,
Yes.
the important thing is that we're trying to do stuff because I'm offering off these journal like links, not because you have to do every one or you have to beat yourself up for not doing it,
Right.
but just there might be times when like you just need a pick me up. And as much as I want to
Absolutely.
tell you the outside world is going to do it, or
Yeah.
your partner or your friends are going to do it, like as we've talked about, like, you know, Tanisha's husband was trying to big her up. She wasn't feeling it.
Yep.
Tanisha was just trying to big me up. And I was like, girl, but my stomach is still da da da.
Right.
It's, so we need to do it for ourselves. And so,
Yes.
all these little exercises, like they're fucking awkward. You feel weird. I live alone.
But
So
it's
at least
important.
like,
Yeah.
I don't have, but like when you know, just make it light, you
Yeah.
know, just
Don't be so
enjoy
hard on yourself.
yourself.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
I've
Like,
learned that. I have learned that like my body doesn't look the same after after three children. And I'm like, you know what? This is what it is. And I will go to the gym. I'll work out and try to do as much as I can, but like it just doesn't look the same. And I have to be okay with that. Like I'm not going to be sitting around like, oh,
and we're still beautiful.
right. Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
you know, and like if you're a, you know, like there's no such, like, I think like we have these things of like, well, you know, if you're a 4, if you're a 5, like,
Oh yeah.
first of all, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, that means
Right.
something to other people.
Yeah.
But like, I know that there are definitely things about my body that, you know, like the bags under my eyes. I'm always saying I'm going to go and get that surgery. And then I'm like, bitch, you will be the bitch who becomes blind because you didn't want to get that. You know what I mean? Like, it's by your eyes, bitch.
Oh
Like that,
my
you shouldn't be doing
gosh.
unnecessary surgeries. Like, so like as
Yeah,
someone who can really quickly go there,
yeah.
you gotta also just give yourself
Give
a
yourself grace.
little bit of
Love
grace and
yourself
space. And
the way
just
that you
like
look.
I said, I had to lift my boobies up, but I
Yeah,
found the cleave that I want to
right?
have.
Well, I'll
And
have to
she
do the
still
same
looked
thing.
good. And guess what? The bra still be doing that.
Right.
So like, you know, like we can't, you know, we just have to practice and we
Right.
will love each other. So well,
Yes.
that was deep dive, that was journaling, girl pleasure tea. And I am so excited because I have a quick pleasure tea.
Yeah.
So let me go first because
Okay.
then we're gonna deep into like the petty television housewives, which I'm so excited for. So
Yes.
my quick
Just
pleasure
quickly.
tea is I just want to say bravo to all the cities that did No Kings protest this weekend. Just
Yes.
bravo, bravo. I wasn't feeling well, so I couldn't go, but like my upstairs neighbor went and it looked amazing. And I was at the last one that we did here, and just there's something about coming together. I'm also loving to see black and brown folks coming together because, like, you know, you can think you're getting a respite,
Right.
they gonna come for
Mm-hmm.
you too. So
Yep.
let's just all get together now. So my pleasure tea, you know, is just about seeing all the beautiful signs and all the beautiful liberation. So
Yes.
now with
I love
that,
it.
girl, let's get into
Mm.
housewives.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, to our listeners that are watching, I don't know if you are Housewives fans, if you watch any of the Housewives shows, but the Housewives of Potomac is like one of my favorites. Reality TV is a guilty pleasure of mine. Like I absolutely love reality TV. But it's just like specifically the Housewives franchise. Like that is like my thing. Like I could just talk about this all day long. But Wendy Osefo and her husband, they are cast members of the Housewives of Potomac. And recently, Wendy is, and for all of those that don't watch the show, Wendy is someone who is a doctor. She is a professor. She is like very elite in the Potomac, area. And she's just a very just graceful, beautiful woman with three children. And recently, her and her husband were arrested because of insurance fraud. Because they basically, yes, the insurance company caught her. So they
Of
were on
course they did,
vacation.
because everything you do is on TV,
Everything you
y'all.
everything you do is on TV. They went
Insurance
on
companies,
vacation.
everyone knows how to count. They know how to look for receipts. They don't want to pay you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Last year, they went on vacation, and Wendy said that their house was broken into, and that they had jewelry stolen worth, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Their house was ransacked, like all the stuff. Then she gets caught on
Oh my
camera
God, I'm cringing.
wearing some of the jewelry that she said was stolen from the insurance company, wearing
You
her
are so
Birkins,
dumb. You are a dumb bitch.
wearing
You
her
are so
Birkins,
dumb.
wearing her Birkins that she said was stolen. So the insurance company locked her and her husband up. They had to pay, I think they had to pay like $20,000 each bail, like to get them out of jail. But now, obviously they're fighting with the attorneys and like they're going to be, coming to the conclusion of whether they're going to be getting locked up again. I'm sure she's
Wait,
probably
so
trying
they
to
were
settle out of
found
court because she's an
guilty?
attorney too. Yep, she's an attorney.
Oh, especially if she's an attorney, because they give them less.
Oh yeah, and she's gonna know how to
Didn't
probably
you
like
see
work the
this with
system, get out of there.
Jersey? I mean, why are people are dumb.
I said, I cannot believe she would do this. Like, why would you do something like that? And this is the thing. This is not the first time she's done it. She's done it multiple times where she's done this insurance scam where she said that things were stolen, and then so they caught that when she was wearing it on the show. She was wearing it on vacations. Birkin bags said they were stolen, but she still had them. I'm like, what? How? Like, this is like the most, like, this is the dumbest thing that you could do. Like,
And
it's
for
literally the dumbest thing you
Birkins,
can
you know
do.
what I mean? Like,
I,
your
I just
kids
can't
ain't
believe
even
it.
hungry.
So successful. I cannot believe it. It was so shocking because she's so smart. This woman is so smart. And I'm like, this is like the dumbest thing. Like, what is happening? And then get this. So they're now, in talks about like what's going to happen with them because they were able to bail themselves out of jail. But now Bravo let her go off the show. Now they fired her off the show, obviously. And I'm like, she was one of like the really great people on the show that I loved watching. And now she's like not on the show anymore. So,
And not only is she
I'll
not
keep
on
you
the
guys
show, but
updated.
how you thought about her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, because and so this is the thing. It alerted them because she kept making these calls that things were getting stolen. So I think that's what like put her insurance company onto it, and they
Well, yeah.
girl,
I mean, they're like, ain't no one that unlucky.
exactly. It was too much, and so I'm so mad about it. I'm like, oh my god! But that's like some of the tea from the Potomac. But you guys have to watch the shows because all the Housewives shows are on now. Jersey is one of my favorites. Housewives of New Jersey, love them. Atlanta, Potomac, those are like my favorites. Salt Lake City is good too. But there's so many of
Okay,
them.
good. So
I
we
watch
will
all
be
of them.
getting because so I watched, the reason why I know Potomac is because when I
Hmm.
was getting my hair done, when Alexia was actually doing it, shout out if you ever
Okay.
need to be your face beat,
Yes,
call
Alexia
Alexia
is
J. She's
amazing.
amazing.
Yes,
If you can get in because she's doing all the
she's booked
things
and
now,
busy.
so God bless her. But and she loved it. So she loved Potomac. So she's like, oh, we can watch. And so we
Oh, she
watched
would
from
watch it
episode
while she's
season
doing your
one.
thing.
And yeah, and
I
so we
love it.
watched like a
That would be me.
few seasons for sure.
Absolutely.
And so that's
Absolutely.
what, right, because there was some light skinned girl and was like married to a guy, and but he was like a weirdo kind of, and
Oh, well, there's so many of those. You could have been
like
talking about.
he would like grab other girls at, like, I don't really
Oh,
remember.
oh, yes, I know exactly. Yes, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Yes. Yep. You
Yeah,
have to
so
watch it though, because if you're not following the story, it's kind of like, oh, we're hearing this tea, but it's like not really going together. You guys, if you're into Housewives, please watch it. Leave your comments
and leave
about
your
what is
comments,
happening
and
with Wendy and
also
update.
I will try to catch Potomac. Because
Please,
I, like I
because
said, I
it
got
is
into it. It was such trash. Like, this is
it's
my thing.
so
I
good.
don't not watch it
Ashley is her
because
name.
I
Yeah.
like I watch trash on television. Like, I also
Yeah.
love space documentaries and shit like that. But like, I love Hoochie
Mm.
Daddies. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm better than Housewives because I am not.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is I get into it, but then I forget.
Then you
And
forget to
then I'm
see
like,
it.
okay, well,
Yes.
where do I catch it? Where
No,
is
I'm
it on?
committed.
How do I
I'm
watch it?
committed all the way.
So I
Yeah.
will definitely keep up.
Yes,
And
please.
we will have more pleasure tea.
Yes.
Because remember, ladies, sometimes pleasure can be petty,
Exactly.
and that is okay. Um,
Oh my
so,
gosh.
all right, sis,
Affirmation.
we're winding up. I heard you have an affirmation for
I
us.
do. I do. I have an affirmation. And so my affirmation for today is I am more than what the world sees. My light, my voice, and my presence are my true beauty. I honor every version of myself, knowing that I can already and I am enough. Yes, that is the
And
affirmation
you
for today.
are, and say some of that while you're looking at your body.
Yes.
Like, love on yourself, ladies. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you guys.
listening.
Yes.
Next week, we are going to be jumping in, and I'm actually really excited about this because we're going to be jumping into relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited about this because as someone who is single, like I just feel like there's so much that I want to talk about what relationships are today.
Yes,
So
yes,
bring your tea, ladies, because
absolutely.
I'm going to be talking about a text message that I sent last week that got no response. We just going to be jumping into some things. No
Mm,
people will be named in this, but we're going to be jumping into love and relationships next week, ladies. So thank
I
you
cannot
so much
wait.
for joining us.
Bye, guys.